You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rodgers for Black and White Sports 2. Well, before we get to Aaron Rodgers, Brian Hoyer is now a Las Vegas Raider. He is Jimmy Garoppolo's backup. The Patriots supposedly, and I got to be honest with you, I don't think I believe this, but there's been a bunch of stories coming out about Mac Jones. Mac Jones was consulting with somebody outside of the Patriots building because Matt Patricia and, of course, Joe Judge is a total and complete train wreck, or was, at offensive coordinator. Now they got Bill O'Brien. I do believe they're going to keep Mac Jones, but supposedly Bill Belichick has been actually attempting to trade Mac Jones. Texans, Commanders, a couple of other teams were brought up in the mix. I cannot imagine that this is a thing, considering they brought in Bill O'Brien, but maybe Bill O'Brien believes Bailey Zappi is a better option. I don't know. That is a wild story. That's nuts. But since we're talking about wild stories, Aaron Rodgers. Now, I have said prior that I was actually kind of surprised the 49ers haven't sniffed around Aaron Rodgers a little more. And I got some pushback on that because of Brock Purdy. Look, I think Brock Purdy is the future of the Niners. But at the end of the day, guys, we don't know how this UCL situation is going to turn out. That's the thing. And what do the Niners have right now? They have a win the Super Bowl now roster. Well, you need a quarterback, okay? I know Sam Darnold is on the team. I'm not even bringing up Trey Lance, okay? The only reason the Niners are keeping Trey Lance right now is because he got hurt. There's not enough film and tape on him to be able to get anything of merit back for Trey Lance. And Brock Purdy's still hurt, so in theory, Trey Lance may end up having to back up Sam Darnold. And the reason I'm saying it like that, Trey Lance is not beating out Sam Darnold, okay? So that's just my feeling. I don't think Trey Lance has a chance in hell of outperforming Sam Darnold in Kyle Shanahan's offense. I just don't, okay? So we got this interesting story. I was surprised that the Niners weren't sniffing around about Aaron Rodgers a little more. We all remember, and I'm just going to take us down memory lane here a little bit. Let us not forget this, as everybody will do the whole, this isn't going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And do I think it's going to happen? No, I think look, if this Jets thing falls through, it will be the most Jet thing in the history of all Jets things to ever happen to Jets fans. I mean, they've already signed Alan Lazard. They got Nathaniel Hackett. Can you imagine if this Aaron Rodgers thing falls through? So, jump back to 2021. This is the Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields draft. 49ers reached out to Packers about Aaron Rodgers trade. No formal offer made. They reached out. This was after the Niners had already traded all those picks. The Niners called the Packers about Aaron Rodgers. I still don't understand. It's like you gave up all that clout and all those draft picks thinking you're going to draft either Mac Jones or Trey Lance, and you called the Packers about Aaron Rodgers? I still can't figure out what John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan was doing there, because your actual trade collateral, you just traded. It was gone. So, Aaron Rodgers, right here, this is around the same time. Aaron Rodgers was convinced he'd be traded to the 49ers before the 2021 NFL Draft, per report. Rodgers thought he was going to become a 49er. Okay? So, let's just keep this in mind as we get to what we're fixing to talk about now, because Craig Carton of WFAN and of now FS1, let me see if I can get to this, because he had a show today, and he brought up something very interesting. Let me make sure my screen's got it up. Okay. He brought this up and dropped a bomb on his FS1 Fox Sports 1 show today.
So here's the reality. San Francisco does not have a first-round draft pick in this draft. They gave them all away to get Trey Lance. They do, however, because of compensatory picks, have like 5 third-round picks. So the conversation has been multiple third-round picks in this draft and a first-round draft pick in next year's draft. If this happens, the New York Jets no longer exist as a franchise.
Yes.
I mean, he went on his show this morning and dropped that bomb. And I don't know if you've noticed, he said the conversation has been. Okay, so you're saying that you've got a source, I guess, with the Packers? Because how should or could the Jets know this? Granted, he's up in that New York area. But he is saying there have been talks, and I don't know if somebody with the Niners have let this out, but there have been talks, I would assume with the Packers, that if the Jets deal falls through, so is this Craig Carton saying that the Packers have already talked to the Niners, the Niners have already offered multiple thirds and a first next year for Aaron Rodgers? Okay, so what is happening here? This is pretty unbelievable, okay? And look, people will go out there, and I've looked at the Twitter comments about the idea that this is just made-up news. I don't believe that, really. Okay, I don't believe guys just try to... Not real guys, like legitimate guys like this. Sure. Is there some bullshit that floats around? Are the Packers putting out some bullshit in hopes of getting the Jets to pull the trigger and sweeten the pot? Maybe. So maybe it's fake news put out by the Packers. I'm not sure why the Niners would float this out there. That doesn't make sense. And I'm not sure why the Jets, if they think, if somebody's with the Jets has told Craig Carton, look, we're hearing that the Niners may be lurking in the weeds, and I've said, watch for the Niners lurking on Aaron Rodgers, has offered multiple threes and a first for Aaron. Number one, if they've offered that, I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers said, I'm not going to San Francisco. But just a couple of years ago, the theory was he wanted to go to San Francisco and thought he was going there. He's from the area. And it should be noted, Matt LaFleur's offense is Kyle Shanahan's offense. Okay, so this is not... And this, look, the Jets have a really nice collection of talent. What they do not have is the 49ers collection of offensive talent. They don't have that. Okay? They don't have Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, who was almost drafted by the Packers. They tried to get him. The Niners got him first. Jawan Jennings. They don't have Deebo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell, and whichever other extra running back Kyle Shanahan finds. They don't have George Kittle. They don't have, and if you're Aaron Rodgers and you take a step back, are you going, I get a chance to go back home to play for the team that I really, like Tom Brady, wanted to be drafted by? I've got a chance to do that. He's 3 years younger than Tom Brady was back when the Niners were flirting with him at one time. 3, 4 years? No, he's 5 years younger. So he's considerably younger than Tom Brady was. He's also from the area. That's also his childhood team. And the 49ers, no matter what, no matter how objective you are about the Jets, or even a Jets fan, the Jets do not have the offensive talent that the Niners have. And you've got a Pro Bowl, All-World, future Hall of Fame left tackle back in Aaron Rodgers' play. This, if you're a Jets fan today, If the Packers lean back in their chair and go, we may not make the playoffs with Jordan Love next year. And if we do, and we come up against the 49ers, we're likely not beating them in the playoffs. All right? That's probably not going to happen anyway. And we don't even know if we can win the division as Packers. If you're the Packers, what happens if the Niners go, instead of 2 3s and a 1 next year, we'll do 3 3s and a 1 next year. And Rodgers says, I'll play 2 years. Now, the one thing that you got to keep in mind with all this is, Aaron Rodgers may not want to back off having publicly committed to the Jets. But this is turning into a potential night. The fact that this is now floated out in the atmosphere is potentially bad. And look, Niners fans, I love Brock Purdy. I do. But he is the last pick in the draft, and he is hurt. If you got a chance to see, let's see what happens with Aaron Rodgers for 2 seasons with all this offensive talent, and let Brock Purdy get healthy and further hone his quarterback skills. That's a hard thing to consider with this offensive talent around the Niners, because some could say, well, they got everything except the quarterback position is the question mark. Because, guys, in theory, and nobody is talking about this, but in theory, guys, Brock Purdy might never be the same again throwing a football. That's possible. So if you're the 49ers brass, number one, where the hell did Craig Carton get this? I've got to think that he got it from the Packers or somebody around the 49ers organization. It doesn't make sense that this comes from the Jets. This is interesting. This is really interesting. So, I know a lot of Niners fans are going to be like, but Brock, look, guys, I love Brock. I do. That kid is awesome. He's everything I would look at when drafting, because I'm a big believer in the old Parcells system of evaluating quarterbacks. Played a lot of games, high completion percentage. Brock checks all those boxes. But he just had an elbow operated on, and we've got a Super Bowl roster. Unbelievable. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Aaron Rodgers and the 49ers. Wow. That's interesting. Maybe fake news. Maybe. But I just don't think people go out there and drop fake news like this without having had a birdie that would have had some knowledge of a situation from one of these 3 teams. He heard it from somebody around one of those 3 teams. I don't know. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.